Hello guys, Death Trooper here, and I have another cast today for weekly number 3. I have pro player Kiwikaki, who is playing as the yellow Protoss in the right side corner on Metalopolis, and we have mouzMorroW on the left side as red Zerg. He is also a pro player, and yeah, so this game is with the new patch. It's just a day old, so all the changes are in effect. Apparently there was a way to hide the timer for the replay, but I don't know quite how to do that yet. It looks like this is going to be a long game. I haven't even watched it. I don't know what happens. So hopefully it's exciting, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. So anyway, so far we have Kiwikaki actually placing his first pylon at the bottom of his ramp. Interesting play. If he's going to go for a fast expand here, maybe put some gateways or cannons here, or maybe just wall this off from the bottom. Very interesting. And oh, this is actually from the tournament, Reddit Invitational. So we have here mouzMorroW getting an extractor before anything. I don't really know what this build's going into. I thought he was maybe going to cancel it to get more drones out, but that wasn't for supply reasons. He doesn't have spawning pool nor a fast expand anywhere, so it's interesting what he's doing here. I guess he's going to go for some kind of fast speedling or baneling kind of build here, or something gas heavy anyway. Kiwikaki's scouting this fully, seeing everything that's going on, and himself getting a forge, it looks like, over here at the front of the ramp, blocking it off, just as I had suggested. Probably going to get some cannons and fast expand. Interesting choice of play, getting the pylon up here by his mineral base, so he can secure that as well with a cannon if he needs to, if Zerglings become a threat. And it looks like mouzMorroW here just kind of on like a patrol spinny kind of thing, preventing Kiwikaki from pylon blocking his ramp off, and putting cannons here, containing the Zerg, which can be very frustrating and very effective. So good play there by Morrow, using patrol so that the inactive drone does not appear on his screen as inactive because it is moving. Placing an overlord here, I like this placement. It's kind of in the middle, pretty safe and protected. I don't think a stalker could reach it from here, or any kind of unit really could probably not really reach it. He would need an air unit to take this out, and he gets to see if either gold is taken or either watchtower. So very excellent overlord placement here. And it looks like two Zerglings are out, and Morrow's going to expand here, and he is, and places that hatchery down. Kiwikaki up here, just keeping his scout alive. Probably going to place a proxy pylon there sooner or later. Production tab, it does look like we do have the Zergling speed on the way. Let's look at the APM meter. Pretty good APM for both players, really high 150 to 200s, and just as I expected here, Kiwikaki throwing down the fast expand and getting some cannons and gateway. Beautiful placement of the buildings here, placing the cannon behind the forge and the gateway, and fully walling this off with the nexus and another cannon here. So Zerglings have to go all the way around all of this just to get at these two cannons. There's no way Zerglings are going to break this whatsoever. If Morrow stands any chance of breaking this, he would have to go for a really all-in kind of baneling build and try and bust through the forge and bust in here with banelings, or just bust up the ramp and try and get all this. But this looks almost like a fully solid wall. I think this pylon walls this here, and this cannon is pretty tight in here. I think there's only just a bit of a gap for one unit to get through here. So no Zerglings are going to be able to run all the way around here, up through here, between this pylon and nexus, up in here. And so pretty much, basically, Kiwikaki is immune to Zerglings right now. And Morrow just has his expansion up, doesn't have any drones on it yet, and doesn't appear to have injected larva or creep tumor with this queen. Kind of sloppy play. I'd expect to see being more on top of this at this level of play, but he does have a creep tumor over here, so he is at least starting to spread it with his original queen. Looks like no layer tech yet, or any other kind of tech other than spawning pool and speedlings. Here comes speedlings, maybe going to try to make something happen. I'm not sure if he quite realizes how much of a wall this is, but he's about to find out, and a lot of cannons here. He does in fact sneak by, but Kiwikaki reacting perfectly, putting his probes on the ramp, preventing them from sneaking up into the main to get all those other probe kills. Excellent play by Kiwikaki, preventing those Zerglings from getting up the ramp. One Zergling almost goes, but he places the pylon just in time. That was literally split-second perfect timing. Researching Warp Gate here at the Cyber Core, these Zerglings might take it down. It's already half down on the shields. KiWikaki should respond with this Zealot or do something, actually canceling that pylon and rebuilding it. I guess he wanted this probe on the inside. I don't know what the purpose of that was, but he did it nonetheless. This Cybernetics core might actually go down. KiWikaki needs to make something happen here. One Stalker's not going to be enough. He needs to get the Zealot into the action. He might even should bring some probes over here to do something about this. This could be bad news. It's going to be close for sure. 126 health left. One Zergling left, though. It does look like the Stalker was just enough. Really, really weakened Cyber Core, though. Could be prone to being taken out easily later on by mutas in the back or anything like that. I really don't think KiWikaki should have let it get to that point. He should have responded sooner with the Zealot, I think. And this pylon was for his protection, but now he's realizing that he has to destroy it to move around. Throwing down 5 gateways up here, including the gateway he already has, and a robo facility. So it looks like KiWikaki's going to try and make some really strong warp gate timing kind of push here. Let's see what Morrow's doing over here. Has this expansion fully saturated now, including both gases, and has the creep spread all down here. Beautiful play by the creep. The creep allows for his full vision everywhere there is creep, so that's an excellent strategy. He's getting the Roach Warren and the upgrade for them as well, and getting the Evo Chamber and missile attack. So it looks like he's definitely going to stick to a Roach, maybe Roach Hydra kind of build here. He does have the layer up. Is he going to throw down a Spire? We'll have to wait and see. Usually Spires are pretty good for harassment, but he might just opt to go full-blown ground army right now and maybe try and make a strong push himself. And expanding again, taking the 3rd expansion. This is a great move, knowing that KiWikaki fast expanded. He's going to be ahead of Morrow in economy, or at least equal. So let's actually look at the income tab here. Very, very close, dead even on gas and minerals, exactly tied. And it actually looks like KiWikaki has a lot more harvesters. So it's interesting how equal the numbers are. He's obviously oversaturated his minerals here. It looks like 58 is enough to do 2 bases. But if KiWikaki gets a 3rd base up, he'll be able to saturate it faster and more fully. Getting this Observer out, beautiful play here. I think now that Observers are really, really cheap because of the patch, they're used a lot faster, maybe more often. Anyway, I don't know for sure, but I would be using them more often if I was a Protoss player. Anyway, it looks like his Zealot did have the Watchtower, but Roaches are pushing that back. KiWikaki making a small push here, involving some Stalkers. We'll switch back to the production tab just to see what's going on while I'm following the battle here. We have more missile attacks level 2, fast upgrade, 18 Roaches popping at once. We have Blink coming out as well, so it looks like, and Protoss armor level 2 here, level 2 weapons, really fast upgrades for both players, and a high tech tree for KiWikaki. He's got many gateways, he has the Twilight Council, and he has the Robo Facility, but I guess he's not really producing much out of the Robo Facility. He was just making an Observer there and not producing Immortals or Colossi right now. Was chrono boosting that, double forging the upgrades. Nice play there. Just kind of moving around with his sentries and stalkers here. Yeah, full energy on most of these sentries, or close to, so they'll be very useful for force fields and guardian shield in battle. It looks like Morrow's moving down on the side here, full of roaches. That's actually a lot of roaches. Perfect timing by Morrow. I don't believe KiWikaki canceled those in time. He might have if he was watching, but it was very possible that Morrow just sniped both of those structures. Gonna get this Nexus. There's nothing KiWikaki can do in time. There's just too many roaches. They can almost like 5-shot it looks like. Moving in here, getting the roaches really close. Perfect timing to choose to back out by Morrow because of the force fields, but excellent force field response by KiWikaki, catching half of those roaches, cutting Morrow's army in half and losing almost nothing himself. KiWikaki definitely came out ahead in that battle. Morrow completely retreating, tail between his legs. We're going to have to see what's going to happen. If I were KiWikaki, I'd maybe push the advantage soon, or just try to expand and hold on to the advantage, and that looks like what he's trying to do here, throwing down even more gateways. This is like a ridiculous number now. If we look at units, and if we look at units lost here, we can see that Morrow has lost more income than KiWikaki. So KiWikaki is ahead. I thought he was going to be ahead a little bit more than this. He's only ahead by 400 resources, which really isn't much at this point in time. But every advantage does add up at pro level, and every little bit makes a difference. Opting to get some cannons back here, I don't know if I necessarily agree with this. I guess he just wants to be safe than sorry. It's kind of hard to defend everywhere all the time, so I suppose some static defense can't hurt, and walling this off with a hard wall I do agree with. I think that's an excellent idea. That means the only weakness to KiWikaki can be attacked from right in here. Pinging going on here, I don't know. I know that there's spectators watching this battle. I don't know if anything really is happening. Further upgrades, maybe pinging the level 3 upgrades coming out so quickly. Very strong play by KiWikaki. He's opted to get minerals, probes mining minerals over here, but not opting to get the gas just yet, right away. We might see that now, and yes, we do. Is there going to be another one here? Probably. And it looks like Morrow has expanded over here as well. I missed that. I've been watching KiWikaki too much, as well as expanding over here, kind of taking half the map. His creep is taking half the map. He's going to have vision on half the map. Only 5 roaches in play, though. And, oh, here's the army. A few hydras. I definitely like that kind of play. It seems to me KiWikaki should get some colossi out to deal with those hydras, although right now it looks like his stalker number might outnumber the hydras. Plus the stalkers now have blink, so they're going to be incredibly useful with this observer here. KiWikaki's going to be able to take out all of these creep tumors and reduce the spread of the creep across the map. That's very strong play. And opting not to engage his army directly. I guess he wants to get out some colossi first. He is throwing down 3 robo facilities, so yes, I guess that is the response. He could with the observer see up on the high ground and opt to blink into the main, maybe go for a quick snipe of the lair, which is now turning into a hive. Or yeah, he could just hang out. It does look like there was a spire out. I just saw it here. And there is an upgrade coming along, so probably going to see corruptors is my guess. Usually Hydra Corruptor is the answer for colossi. And don't know if any are coming just yet. It doesn't look like it on this production tab. Just spreading more creep tumors. KiWikaki, very strong army here. Mostly stalkers pushing out across the map. Almost maxed out, 184 out of 200, and has a good resource base building up here. Should maybe try and make something happen, or just try and hold his advantage, I guess, is what he's trying to do. He doesn't want to overcommit and slip and lose the game to a single battle, so he's really biding his time. Looks like Morrow has successfully saturated all of these expansions here and here. Well, they're not so much minerals, but definitely on the gas. If we look at the income tab here, gas is way higher, almost double for Morrow. So that's very strong. Gas is everything in StarCraft, so we're going to see what he's going to do with that gas. I don't know exactly what he's going to go. 7 corruptors coming out. Excuse me. 7 corruptors coming out, as I suspected, probably to thwart the potential colossi as well. Always potential for broodlords as well. And actually 8, 9, 10 I saw at one point, and the greater spire coming too, so we might just see broodlords or just higher level upgrades here. Not exactly sure at this point. He does not have Hydralisk range. This seems like a big kind of mistake to me. He might be forgetting or missing this. There's a lot of hydras but no range. I'm not totally familiar with Zerg. Maybe the range isn't a necessary upgrade and pro players might not always get it, but I would have definitely expected to see that range upgrade happening. Anyway, he is getting broodlords. I do like this play. I don't believe KiWikaki has scouted this, and all he has is, well, Plink Stalkers is actually a very good counter for broodlords, but with the hydras on the ground and no colossi there, it might turn out pretty effective. Stalkers moving down here, kind of making something happen, doing a little bit of blinking, throwing down some force fields. but kind of not engaging. Is he going to pop up into the main? I love this spine crawler up here by Morrow. Excellent play, putting these spine crawlers up on the corner to kind of prevent the blinking stalkers from coming up. Although there is so many stalkers, it wouldn't really matter. Pinching the army here with the Broodlords now in play and the Hydras. Guardian Shield going up, but of course they are no effect against the Broodlords because the Broodlings are little melee critters as far as I know. Anyway, it looks like KiWikaki's losing this battle pretty hard. These Hydras pushing him back, the Broodlords really doing the major damage here. And he should have maybe blinked. Wow, that is a ton of Broodlords. That tells you the difference between 5 base and 2 base right there. This is a tremendous army, and you can see he's got 12 more Corruptors on the way. Missile attacks 3, and ground attacks 2 coming out. KiWikaki finally getting some Colossi up, but too little too late in my opinion. Is it going to be enough? Probably not. Blinking a little prematurely there as well. I don't think he's going to be able to really snipe too many of these Overlords, or Broodlords, sorry. The Hydras and Broodlords just pushing this back. KiWikaki just doesn't have enough to hold it. He's definitely going to lose this gold expansion. Warping in all of these Stalkers. Kind of a tight place to warp them in, but it worked out okay. None of them really got damaged there, but that was really close to the front lines. Blinking again a little prematurely, but he is going to catch some Broodlords. The Hydralisks are a little bit out of position, and the Corruptors are kind of overextended in producing Broodlords. They should have maybe produced back here or back in his own base, and it actually looks like KiWikaki's going to hold this. 3 Colossus being the magic number for defeating this composition here, and not enough Corruptors really. Morrow falling back, and KiWikaki actually hanging on to this gold nexus here. Excellent defense. I really thought KiWikaki was gonna totally collapse at that point in time. He does have a Blink Stalker up here, doing some damage economically, just harassing. But it looks like a Spine Crawler got in place, and KiWikaki wasn't fully watching that enough. But opting to expand down here, and people pinging around. I try and look when there's pinging going on to see if anything exciting's happening. It looks like Morrow may be trying to take the gold expansion. And, ooh, perfect observer here by KiWikaki. No Overseers by Morrow with his army. Very vulnerable to DTs right now. Actually, does he even have Spore Crawlers out? Well, he does have 1 at his natural and 1 at his main, but he has 1 at every base, actually. So he would be okay against DTs, except for his army has no detection with it, which is kind of unusual at this late stage in the game. Like, a handful of DTs would just tear up these Hydras. Anyway, KiWikaki getting the observer on Morrow's army at all times here. Gonna lose this Nexus, not even gonna try and defend it. I think he realizes he doesn't quite have enough to deal with this yet. I don't know what he can do at this point. Maybe start pumping Phoenix drastically. I'm not really sure, but it looks like the Ultralisk Cavern is coming out. So even if KiWikaki responds to this air threat by pumping too much anti-air himself, he's just going to get stomped by the Ultralisks soon to come. We have the Zerg Carapace level 3 upgrades. A little bit behind on the upgrades, I believe. KiWikaki is already 3 and 3, and yes, he is. Pushing out now, 5-6 Colossi and a handful of Stalkers. Kind of overextending the Stalkers. The Corruptors here are going to get a lot of shots off on these Colossi. But KiWikaki is managing to take out a lot of these Broodlords. Looks like KiWikaki actually might be able to push in on this and take out all the Hydras and Broodlords. Way too many Corruptors by Morrow, overproducing the anti-air unit, or the anti-Colossi unit. I mean, he did kill all the Colossus, but he didn't have enough Hydralisks to deal with the Stalker threat on the ground, producing a lot of emergency Zerglings, I would call it. And is it going to be enough? Not really. Kind of Blink Micro here going on, trying to keep these Stalkers alive as much as possible. Actually, excellent Blink Micro, not losing any Stalkers to any of those Zerglings. Pushing the Queen back, bringing in more reinforcements, working in more. 7 Ultralisks being made somewhere, a whole bunch of Hydras still. These Corruptors need to fall back. These Corruptors cannot do anything. Ultralisks coming out in perfect time. The Queen even trying to get in on the action. Dirty girl. And the Queen just running up. Look at her charging on that creep. She wants some blood. She's freaking pissed right off. Morrow might lose this gold here if KiWikaki micros this properly, utilizing blink and stuff, but no, he actually stops focus firing the hatchery and focuses some corruptors. I can't say I agree with this, considering the hatchery was so low. 3 RoboBait producing Immortals. Interesting choice. It counters the Ultralisks. However, they cannot do anything about the Broodlords in the air, and they're not that effective against Hydras as far as I know. He should, in my opinion, be making Colossi as well. I mean, sure, some Immortals, but you also want some Colossi. It looks like Morrow sticking with Broodlords and Ultras. Very nice, healthy mix unit composition in here. He even has Lings, Infestors, Hydras. As you can see, he's got almost all of his hotkeys set up, his control groups. So he's going to be microing a very micro-intensive army here. Many different units that each function differently and whatnot. So we're going to have to see here. I don't think the average person would be able to handle the micro for this kind of composition, but if microed correctly, this composition can be very deadly, very hard to counter perfectly. As you can see, KiWikaki has no Colossi, so these Broodlords and those Hydras and Lings are going to be very effective. However, there is a nice healthy Zealot kind of barrier in the front here. I don't know if that was a fungal growth it looked like. I guess they've changed the graphics since the patch. I haven't even seen it since the patch. I barely noticed fungal growth going off anyway. And the Blink Stalkers kind of overextending themselves. The Immortals here doing kind of not really any damage here. It looks like. Looked like even they were almost shooting Zerglings. Kind of hard to tell. A lot's going on here. I don't know where the Broodlords are. It looks like he only has 1 left. Perhaps the Stalker's focusing those down. Overlord's moving in here, getting overzealous. And yeah, it looks like KiWikaki making the push in on Morrow. Morrow just doesn't really seem to have an answer for this. Only 5 Ultralisks. Is it going to be enough to push all of this back? Probably not. These Immortals are going down really quickly, though, once their shields are drained. That's just it. This cleave damage is going to tear these Stalkers apart. They actually do need to fall back. Those Ultralisks doing a very effective job. They are now off the creep and really slow. Morrow has to be really careful not to overextend himself here. Zealots getting into the fray, tearing some shit up. They want in on the action. They want some sweet kills on the Ultras, but they're just getting grinded. It's just pretty much a meat grinder. If neither of these players had that achievement before, they certainly do now. But most likely they definitely had it before. Opting to get the Zealot legs just now. Really late on the Zealot legs, but I suppose he wasn't using Zealots up until this moment in time anyway. Almost mined out here, way oversaturated. Kind of needs to move some of these drones, although he is fully saturated actually at most naturals. It looks like if we go to the units tab here, 78 drones. That's kind of way too many. KiWikaki here needs to expand up here and build a nexus here. I don't know what happened or if he tried to. It looks like he's long distance mining. He might have had one. Maybe Morrow sniped it. I apologize if I missed that and did not notice. Looks like a drop here from Morrow, bringing in some Overlords. Also some movement over here. Dark Templar moving in just as I had suggested earlier. The drop going down. Are these Dark Templar going to do much? No, there is detection here. Looks like this drop just picked right back up and left. Not sure if they sniped anything. Not sure if there was a nexus here or not. KiWikaki did have his army in position here. Looks like Morrow's trying to withdraw here. These Dark Templar are actually doing not so good, actually. Only 2 kills. That's very pathetic considering they one-shot drones. He's actually got it on hold position here. He could be hacking away at all of these drones. Brutal micromanagement here by KiWikaki, but I guess it's not that critical. These are just meant for harassment, but think of all this drone blood he could be drawing right now. He could just be slaying every single drone on this patch, which it would be tons. He'd have like 10-20 kills by now. Crazy ass Dark Templar. And now Zerglings are going to move in and probably finish that. Might not be enough, but the Hydras certainly will. And there goes that harassment. Still an observer here, seeing fully the army of Morrow. No Overseer by Morrow. Still not having detection with his main army. Very sloppy play in my opinion. He needs to get that Overseer. You need to have detection with your army at all times in late game, because of the potential threat of cloaked units, and especially after KiWikaki has revealed that he does have the Dark Shrine and has produced Dark Templar. There's no reason for Morrow not to have an Overseer here. Anyway, it looks like KiWikaki moving in, trying to engage this, has some more Colossus up, and Immortals now. Excellent composition. This is what he needed earlier, I think. Now this perfectly is going to tear it up. These Blink Stalkers, it looks like these Ultralisks are actually just so hardcore. They can just handle everything. Mortals, Colossus, and Stalkers just tearing through that. I'm actually very surprised Morrow was able to destroy that army so easily. Gonna probably take out this gold again. Got a lot of Broodlords in play, but the Blink Stalkers moving in gonna take them out. They have to retreat. They overextended themselves and were unprotected a little bit too much there. And KiWikaki actually saving the Nexus yet again after I've declared it gonna be lost. So it just shows that it's really anyone's game at this point in time. It's really hard to tell. Morrow does have some saturation on the gold, although he should bring more in. He should bring a lot of these in. In my opinion, you need to saturate that gold more than any of your other expansions. Moving in here, KiWikaki's maybe overextending himself a little bit. He even has some probes in there. Not sure if he meant to do that or not. They went down almost instantly. This is not going to be enough to hold back this many Ultras. This is just a mess for KiWikaki. He actually has not a very large army right now. He does have more Dark Templar coming in, and he is going to use them defensively. Noticing that there are no Overseers here, this can be very deadly. Excellent play. We'll go back to the production. He's producing more Dark Templar. And Zealots, getting some more Zealots. I really think he needs more Colossi and Immortals. He needs to keep producing out of these Robo Bays. I guess he's tight for money. He only has 400, 300 right now. Whereas Morrow is looking in a much stronger economical position, having 2,000 extra minerals sitting around. Near kind of maxed out, 500 gas to blow. KiWikaki here has a much smaller army, only 140, now 150. Whereas Morrow has 175. Morrow here moving across the field with the Dirty Ling Ultralisk Infestor Broodlord combo here. He's definitely going to take down this Nexus this time. Definitely. I called that 100%. You all witness. Moving out here. Just kind of poking and prodding, moving back, not wanting to commit. He did sneak some Ultras in here, maybe going for the snipe. Not going to get it, not fast enough, not enough. Going to lose those 2 Ultras. That was definitely not worth it in my opinion. If anything, he should have gone for these drones, or just should have not wasted 2 Ultralisks for that. Ultras are very expensive. He didn't even take it down. He didn't kill anything. That was a big waste of units. Kind of misplay there. Burrowed Zergling preventing the Nexus. KiWikaki needs to get an observer over here and get this Nexus down. This is way unacceptable to not have this base at this point in time. A little drop going on here. Gonna perhaps delay this even further. And warping in Zealots. You never want to warp that close. He lost 1 for nothing there. And this Ultralisk is quite good against Zealots, but KiWikaki did respond with his whole army in time. And actually bringing in more Dark Templars and an Observer here. Going to be very dirty. Morrow throwing down, it looked like Fungal Growth, but I think he missed. So he did not reveal this Dark Templar. This Dark Templar's still alive, but then got seen. So does he have an Overseer? No, he probably Fungal Growthed it, which I believe reveals cloaked units. Oh, sorry, I'm running out of breath. This is turning out to be quite eventful and intense. Looks like a potential drop over here, but Dark Templar thwarting it. 3 kills on this one, 2 on the other. Not dropping the Ultralisk, actually picking it back up in the red. He should retreat with these Overlords before Stalkers get over here. Actually having unpowered warp gates here by KiWikaki. He needs to get another pylon down. Kinda sloppy. 2 more unpowered ones over here too. Very sloppy actually. Opting to get High Templar finally. Psystorm going to be very effective against the Zerg army, as they are a massable, low health army for the most part, aside from these robust Ultralisks. Kind of fighting over the watchtower here, poking and prodding each other. It looks like KiWikaki kind of tried to commit to this. He is going to commit. Fungal Growth holding all of those Zealots in place, making them absolutely useless as a meat shield, although the Ultralisks do still need to tear through them before getting to those nice juicy Stalkers. Stalkers blinking away. Beautiful Psy Storms going down here. Warping into Archons. I think this is kind of a sacrifice of these units. He should have probably just pulled back with them. I don't necessarily agree with this, although it does look like he is going to get them out in time and with full health, so maybe that was actually a good plan. Broodlords here not going to be enough. Archons being very effective against Broodlords here. Warping in more Zealots, more High Templar. Moving in here, KiWikaki wants to make something happen, wants to seal the deal. It looks like he has the Kandarian Amulet that gives him 50 energy when he spawns these suckers, so that he can do the storm right away. This Ultralisk just escaping by the hair on his chinny chin. And these Corruptors sitting here, dancing, having a little party time, not really doing anything. And drop here by Morrow, coming into the one of the few remaining expansions here of KiWikaki. Is he going to snipe it in time? Probably not. It looks like KiWikaki responded just in time. Using a little bit of micro. Is he going to get it? Burrow, perfect timing, and he gets it. He just gets it. KiWikaki did not have detection to see those burrowed roaches. Excellent snipe by Morrow. Although he lost more than 400 resources of units to do that, he is preventing full and constant mining of this only mining base of KiWikaki. So now KiWikaki has literally no income aside from this really long distance mining. But considering every single one of his probes is here, he's actually still probably getting a steady mineral income. It looks like Morrow himself is doing a long distance mining. I guess this hatchery went down. I didn't quite notice if there was a snipe there or what happened, but don't tell me this Dark Templar killed him. That would be embarrassing. Moving in here for a drop on KiWikaki's main, probably wants to seal the deal, destroy all the tech structures and or warp gates. Just tons and tons of links trying to blow through these minerals as fast as he can. Just producing a big swarm of lings to try and destroy everything as fast as he can and as cheaply as possible. Dark Templar in here gonna have to work overtime to kill all of these units. Actually looks like an Overseer finally in play by Morrow. So that Dark Templar is not even going to handle all of these lings. Corruptors getting in here, just dancing around for the party time. Oh, at the same time over here, KiWikaki moving out. This cast is definitely testing my limits as a commentator. I am exhausted from talking non-stop for 45 minutes straight. Anyway here, it looks like Zergling's going to hold this off here. No real units to deal with these lings. Stalkers, Immortal, and High Templar are not a good counter for lings. You need more Zealots in that unit composition. It looks like this gold expansion has gone fully down. KiWikaki finally getting this nexus up here, gonna finally have a steady mineral income, but I think he's way too far behind to come back now. Yes, it definitely looks like a base race at this point. These Zerglings moving out from the main, destroying all of this naturals. I expect a GG here any minute from KiWikaki, unless he can summon up some kind of army and compete for this base race, but I don't see that happening. Looks like another drop with more and more lings. Morrow just trying to seal it as fast as he can, dropping as many lings everywhere, producing just lings non-stop. Is he going to get this nexus? I don't know. Beautiful storms there by KiWikaki, cleaning that up. Two Broodlords here, adding more trouble here, but two Blink Stalkers should be able to push that away. I mean, I guess they could turn and fight the Stalkers, but he does want to try and get it. He actually might get it. This is unbelievable. Those Zealots cannot deal with these Broodlings. Oh my gosh. There goes the Nexus. Unbelievable. Immediately rebuilding it. We're going to delay him for the total amount of time it takes to rebuild it. Another drop in here. Going to take out this new one. I don't even know if he canceled in time. It doesn't really matter. Morrow preventing this expansion from going up at all costs. Excellent play by Morrow, keeping the pressure on. Morrow is actually mined out everywhere, every single natural expansion, and not even mining gas. Gas is mined out, so really both players are on their last limbs here. Morrow really needs to long distance mine this gold while he has map control, pushing up here, taking out more production facilities of KiWikaki. KiWikaki better be careful here. because if he loses these warp gates, he's literally going to have nothing left to produce units out of. So building a cybernetics core. See, remember guys, I told you that original cyber core would go down? Yeah. Well, here it looks like Morrow definitely has the advantage right now just because of the amount of structures across the whole map. KiWikaki would not win a base race at this point in time. KiWikaki needs to destroy all of Morrow's army at here, and he needs to prevent Morrow from mining this gold, which all these drones are coming to do. So KiWikaki really needs to make a miracle happen, wipe out the army, and prevent any more income. Morrow is out of money, so if KiWikaki can kill his army and prevent this mining of this gold, KiWikaki stands a chance at winning. But right now KiWikaki is severely outnumbered, only has pretty much zealots left. Those high Templar are getting taken out by Zerglings, only one storm going down, not doing enough damage. These zealots are done. KiWikaki GG's. Really long game, but really exciting, non-stop action. It really came down to the last of the last mineral patches, last of the last units here. Excellent play by both players here, but Morrow just proving that he consistently stuck it out to the bitter end. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed.